Welcome to Vpod.ai. This deep dive is sponsored by Stonefly, your trusted solution provider and advisor in enterprise storage, backup disaster recovery, hyperconverged VMware, Hyper-V, Proximox cluster, AI servers, SA365, a turnkey security appliance, and public and private cloud. Check out stonefly.com for more info. Today, we're looking at something, really interesting happening in global health. It's all about collaboration, different groups working together to get essential healthcare tools distributed more fairly
Yeah.
to the places that need them most.
Exactly. And specifically,
Specifically, we're diving into an agreement aimed at boosting local manufacturing of rapid diagnostic tests, getting them made right there in regions that often lack easy access.
yes, the announcement involving the WHO, the Medicines Patent Pool,
Yeah.
and a Nigerian company, right?
That's the one. And it feels like more than just a standard business deal. It seems tied into bigger ideas like global health security and pandemic preparedness.
Absolutely. It's a really significant step, I think. At its core, you've got this sublicensing agreement. The WHO and MPP help make it happen.
Okay.
It's between the MPP and a company called Codex Bio, a Nigerian health tech firm.
Right, Codex Bio.
And the key part, as you hinted, is the technology transfer. It's coming from Biosensor.
Biosensor. They're a big global player in diagnostics, aren't they?
They are a major name in vitro diagnostics globally. So them sharing their tech is, well, it's a big deal.
Okay, let's unpack that technology transfer bit. What exactly is being shared and why is that so crucial here?
Certainly. So what's being transferred is basically the know-how, the IP, everything needed to manufacture these rapid diagnostic tests.
RDTs.
RDTs, we hear that term a lot.
We do. And, in some parts of the world, getting a quick test result is something we maybe take for granted.
True.
But for many low and middle income countries, these RDTs are absolute game changers. They're designed to be easy to use, you see, often in local clinics or health posts without needing lots of extra sophisticated equipment.
Makes sense. Simple is key. And they deliver results fast, usually within about 20 minutes. Plus, the specific technology here is known to be highly sensitive, so they're effective.
Speed, simplicity, effectiveness. Got it. And the initial focus I read is on HIV tests.
That's the starting point, yes.
Yeah.
Codex Bio will begin by producing RDTs for HIV, which is still a major health challenge in many regions.
Okay.
But here's what makes it particularly interesting, I think. The underlying technology itself is really versatile.
How so?
Well, it's not just for HIV. The same basic platform can be adapted pretty readily to make tests for other common diseases. Think malaria, syphilis.
Ah, okay. So it has broader potential right away.
Exactly. And maybe even more importantly, thinking about, recent history, it can be quickly adapted for new threats, for detecting pathogens during health emergencies or future pandemics.
Right. That adaptability piece really jumps out. So it's not just tackling current problems, it's building resilience for whatever comes next.
Precisely. It's about future-proofing, in a way.
Now, this agreement didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's apparently the first one under something called HTAP. What's HTAP?
Good question. HTAP stands for the Health Technology Access Program. To really get it, you need a little context.
Okay.
This agreement builds on an earlier license deal between Biosensor and the MPP set up late last year. That first one was actually created under the WHO's COVID-19 Technology Access Pool, HTAP. Remember that?
Vaguely, yes. HTAP came out of the pandemic urgency.
Exactly. HTAP has sort of evolved now into this broader HTAP initiative. The core goal is the same, though, closing that access gap for essential health products.
And that means more than just tests.
Oh, yeah. Tests, vaccines, treatments, medical devices, the whole range.
Whoa.
And the way they do it is by empowering capable local manufacturers like Codex Bio through these sublicenses and technology transfer deals, sharing the knowledge.
So HTAP was the pandemic response, HTAP is the longer-term strategy, and this Codex Bio deal is the first big result from HTAP.
That's it, the first tangible outcome of this evolved program.
What are the different players saying about it? The WHO, MPP, Biosensor, Codex Bio. What's their take on the significance?
Well, their perspectives really highlight the different facets of why this matters. The WHO, for instance, is really emphasizing that this boosts manufacturing capabilities right where the need is greatest.
Makes sense. Local production for local needs.
They see it as directly contributing to global goals. Equitable access to diagnostics is a cornerstone for universal health coverage and, crucially, pandemic preparedness.
Right. Diagnostics are fundamental. And the Medicines Patent Pool, they were the brokers here, facilitating the deal.
Yes, they were key. NPP highlights this as a major step in diversifying where these diagnostics are made globally. They stress ensuring access where it's most needed.
Diversification seems important after the supply chain issues we saw.
Absolutely. And they see this as proof that voluntary licensing and well-coordinated tech transfer can really work. They hope it builds more resilient, equitable supply chains long term.
Okay, and what about SD Biosensor? They're sharing their tech. What's in it for them, or how do they view it?
They express real pride, actually
Mhm.
pride that their adaptable technology can help build up these regional manufacturing hubs.
Mm.
They see it as a concrete way to expand fair access to diagnostics worldwide. They're highlighting the collaboration and their commitment to building sustainable local capacity.
And finally, Codex Bio in Nigeria. This must be huge for them.
Oh, absolutely massive. They're calling it a defining moment for their company and a breakthrough for healthcare manufacturing in Africa generally.
Wow.
Being the first sublicensee under this kind of global program really underscores their commitment, they say, to pandemic preparedness and strengthening health security in their region. They're focused on producing high-quality RDTs to improve timely diagnosis, not just in Nigeria, but maybe across the continent.
It genuinely sounds like a win-win, even if the motivations slightly differ. But the agreement itself, that's just paper, right? There's got to be support to make it actually happen.
Exactly right. Ongoing support is critical. HTAP isn't just signing deals and walking away.
So what does that support look like?
Well, they'll coordinate help from various WHO partners. This covers things like workforce development, making sure Codex Bio has the skilled people needed,
Training, yeah.
and navigating regulatory hurdles, ensuring the tests meet all the quality standards, which is obviously crucial.
Absolutely. Can't cut corners there.
No. And also support for uptake, helping integrate these tests effectively into the healthcare system so they actually get used. And interestingly, they're also looking into finding a second sublicensee for this same technology.
Oh, really? So they want to scale this up even more?
It suggests a wider strategy, yeah, to really boost local production capacity more broadly.
It just shows it's not simple, is it? It's not just handing over blueprints. You need this whole ecosystem.
Precisely. And it connects to that bigger issue you touched on earlier, the reliance many low and middle income countries have on imports for essential diagnostics.
Yeah, the pandemic really exposed that vulnerability, didn't it?
It really did. We saw how supply chain disruptions could just cut off access to vital tools. So this initiative is right in line with this growing push from organizations like the Africa CDC, the Global Fund, UNITAID, to build local production, build supply resilience.
And the Africa CDC must be watching this closely, given their focus.
Without a doubt. They've welcomed this partnership very warmly. They see it as a practical example of regional health security in action.
Making it real.
Yes. They emphasize that building diagnostic manufacturing in Africa isn't just about pandemic response. It's about strengthening the continent's health sovereignty overall. And they're ready to support its implementation with coordination and expertise.
So bringing it back, for you listening, what's the big takeaway here? It's easy for these global agreements to sound a bit abstract.
But I think what's really striking is how this specific technical deal licensing diagnostic tech can create such wide ripples. It really underlines how interconnected global health is.
Yeah.
An innovation from one company, shared through a framework like HTAP, leads directly to better healthcare access, maybe thousands of miles away. It's a reminder that solving global health issues isn't just about the next scientific breakthrough.
Right, it's also about the how.
Exactly. It's about the systems, the mechanisms we create to make sure those breakthroughs actually reach everyone who needs them, wherever they happen to live.
And it really begs the question, doesn't it? If this model works for diagnostics, how can we apply similar thinking to other essential health tech? Vaccines, treatments?
That's the key question to ponder, I think. How do we leverage this approach further? How do we empower more local communities to build sustainable solutions for their own health challenges?
This Codex Bio agreement feels like a potentially powerful blueprint.
It really does. It shows the potential of sharing knowledge, transparent licensing, and coordinated support. We hope you take away a sense of the importance of this kind of international cooperation in building a more resilient and equitable global health future for everyone.